Well, hello there and welcome back, you lovely lot. Today we've got an acrylic design for you using Diamond Nail.Supplies acrylics, the Glitter Fairy glitters and some stickers from Smiley's glitter store. Here we're going to be using the Kylea Wherry size 10 acrylic brush. This was in a recent haul that I did, so what I've done is prep that brush completely so that we can use it today. So the first thing I'm going to do is pick up a tiny bead of clear acrylic and dip it into Repunzel, and we're going to lay that onto the little finger. I'm going to do a full coverage of Repunzel, and then with a wet brush I will actually dip that into Mercury and add small bits of that on top of this glitter, all the time patting that down, making sure it's nice and flat, not protruding from the nail, and also keeping that shape. Now to show you just how flat this is, there's a side view here. There we go, so that's how flat I've applied that glitter on that finger. So then I'm going to come in with exposed on the ring finger. So I put the bead on, tuck it in at the cuticle, down at the right, down at the left, and then pull the front of that bead down, making sure it's not on the skin anywhere. Then I'm going to come in with the second bead, and this now is going to be a full coverage of that nude shade which is exposed. So again, apply that to the nail, feather it back, side walls in, making sure I've got full coverage. A little bit more at the cuticle area there, just for a bit more opaqueness. Feather that down. And then we're going to move on to the next finger. So I'm going to pick up a bead of lavender pearl and apply that at the cuticle area. So I'll clean off the brush and then I will tuck that into the cuticle area, down the right, down the left, and then sweep down the front of that bead. This is going to be a glitter fade, so what I'm going to do is dip my brush into a small bead of clear acrylic, and I double dip this time, so I put it straight into the Repunzel, then the Mercury, and then swirl it around on that nail, mix it in together, and then place that at the tip area and feather that down. Now as you can tell, it's stuck to my brush, so I'm using the particles that are on my brush to stick into that wet lavender pearl while I can, and I'm quite happy with that, so I'm not going to add any more in the way of acrylic. I'm just going to put that on, tap it flat, make sure that the glitter's not protruding in any way. The last thing you want to do is cap this, file it, and then get through to that glitter, and all your hard work just goes out the window. So once we're happy with that, we'll move on to the pointer finger and come in with a bead of Lilac Lust, and we will pull that all the way down, and this will be a full nail. Now this is going to have some stamping on this, so this is just a background shade. Now with this being a new brush, I noticed there was a bristle sticking out. So I pulled that out, and then I go in for another bead, just a small one, just to make sure that I've got the coverage that I want for that lilac luster on that nail. Making sure those side walls stay in so I keep my stiletto shape. Then I'm going to come in with a couple of beads at the cuticle area here to get the opaqueness. For a ombre, I'm going to put lavender pearl at the tip, exposed at the cuticle area. It'll be in a diagonal motion across the nail, because I'm going to come in with a glitter where them two shades will meet. And like I've said previously, I don't like to have a glitter across the nail. I like it on a diagonal, on the wonk. This is why you saw me come in with a small little bead there to go up that left hand side, so that I can do it diagonal across the nail. It just elongates it, makes the nail, the finger and everything just seem longer and slimmer. I just think it's more appeasing to the eye. So this is how I like to do it. So once I'm happy with both the shades there, both the Lavender Pearl and Exposed, I then come in with Repunzel, which is the glitter. I will put that along that line. This is what you can see me do here. I've dipped the wet brush into the raw glitter and pressing it into that wet acrylic. When that acrylic is dried, I will then pick up a teeny tiny bead of clear acrylic, pick up a small bead of the glitter, which is what you can see me do here. And then I take my time putting that glitter exactly where I want it on that nail. And only once I'm happy with the placement do I move on. This is wet brush into that raw glitter just to add a little bit more in that area before we move on to the ring finger. Here I'm going to put on these stickers. So I'll place them exactly where I want them, secure them with my thumb, manoeuvre it if possible like that one there, and then gently but firmly secure them on. Once I've done this, I'm going to cap all these nails and file and buff them into shape before coming in with a non-wipe top coat. And as you can see, these beautiful glitters come to life. Those holographic stickers there are shining gorgeously. So all your hard work that you've done up to this point all comes to life. As always, I make sure that top coat seals everything in, especially on those side walls, that free edge. And then I will run my finger underneath and take off any excess before giving that a full cure in the lamp. Then we're going to come in for some stamping. This is the designer plate. Now you would have seen this on the nail haul. I'm going to use this stamping polish 020 from Nail.Supplies. So apply that colour to the stamping plate, scrape, pick up your stamper, roll that on, take off anything that you've picked up that you don't want transferring onto the nail. Looking through that clear stamper, I will then press firmly, roll right, roll left and take that off. Clean that stamper, clean the plate, and then I just need a little bit more just on that tip area. Exactly the same way, pick it up, look through the finder, place, roll, done. There we are. Then I will come in and I will float the top coat over the top of that design and give that full cure in the lamp. Then we're going to do some gem placement. So I have some pointy backs in Lilac that I'm going to put on here. So using my Ugly Duckling Stick It, I will place a small amount of that cuticle area, and then I come in with 3 pointy backs. I'll manoeuvre those into place, and then once I'm happy with those 3 pointy backs in that area, I will nudge them slightly back there because I've got like a little small mountain of that gel that I'm actually putting that into, and then the rest around it is actually flat. So using that gel, I will come in with some, it's like an amethyst shift, and I really like the darker shade of purple. So I come in and I put a couple on each side of that small cluster. So like I said, the contrast between the lavender in the pointy backs and then the dark amethyst of these stones is beautiful. Now, I did a nail mail video, 1 or 2 videos back now, and in those we used some of the things that we've done today. So the Smiley Glitter Store stickers, the designer stamping plate, and also what I'm going to put on next is some shards. So they are gem shards, and they are chips of the gems, I suppose, really. They're not quite pixie sort of crystal, do you know what I mean? They're the same sort of thing, but they're in the gem, which is what we've got here. So I've decanted those off into some small pots, and what I'm going to do is use the wood stick, because that picks up just a small quantity of a time. It makes it manageable, and then I press that into the gel that's on the finger. This is what you can see me do here. So I'm going around those stones, and I'm just picking up 1 or 2 as I want them. Remember, it's not cured. The gel underneath all these stones is not cured, so it's not set in place yet. So I don't want to pick up a massive amount of the shards and then find that I messed the whole thing up. So what I'm going to do is, you see me do that now, so I'm placing that strategically, being very gentle. And then once I'm happy, I'll put that in the lamp for a full cure, and that will set all of those into place. Then I haven't recorded this, but I have added a couple of stones to the other fingers. And then that's the end of the video, and this is the finished result. Here we go. So I really hope you've enjoyed this video today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed the design work. If you have, please take a moment and hit the thumbs up button. If you're not subscribed already, I would love it if you would. Until next time.